Who do you admire most? And what specific traits do you find most admirable about them? The answer to that question can actually tell you a lot about what you value, what's important to you. I was recently rereading Hylke Faber's Taming Your Crocodiles, and in it, he talks a little bit about challenging yourself to think about who you admire and why. Because if you gravitate towards certain traits in someone, it likely says that these are things that potentially you have in yourself that you can kindle, or that you aspire to have and to work on and to grow in. I think it's important for us to take stock of that from time to time, take a step back from the minutia and the craziness and take stock of where you are and what really matters, what fuels you. What's your love of the game? So this challenges me to think about who I admire and why. And really, I needed to look no further than right around my office. The pictures, the books, the memories, the things I've surrounded myself with. Number one is Jesus, my pastors, people that are able to deliver a message that gives me hope. Jesus is the ultimate servant leader. My wife, she inspires me every day to be the best man I can be. She sees something in me that keeps me going. My parents, my mom is resilient as can be and is the ultimate selfless leader. My dad, always there for everyone. Always giving, always coaching, always teaching. My grandma, she was tough as nails, and she always called it how it was. And then there's James Bond. In my youth, in my young, awkward teenage years, I gravitated toward an invincible hero, somebody that made me feel through my escapism that I could be bulletproof, that I could be impervious to anything. So I read all of the books, indulged in the movies. I mean, my goodness, my phone number even has 007 in it. It's why I drive the car I drive. Then there's Michael Jordan, greatest competitor ever, greatest student of the game. He studied the game. He understood it better than anyone. I was watching an interview the other day with Tim Grover, who was his trainer. He said that he had better athletes than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant that he coached, that he trained. But no one was more obsessed with mastering the game and winning. And that competitive fire is what I gravitate toward in great athletes like Jordan, like Kobe. And then there's some of the oddities or the misfit toys. You know, I think about Rick Ankiel. He was the phenom pitcher that came up for the St. Louis Cardinals 20 plus years ago and won Rookie of the Year and started the first game of the playoffs. And then he threw 5 wild pitches. And he toiled in the minors for a few years, came back as an outfielder, and had phenomenal success. I think about the natural, Roy Hobbs, shot down in his prime, comes back years later. His career looked different. Fast Eddie Felson. His career looked different. He was the hustler. He was larger than life. And as he likes to say, had the screws put to him. Comes back as a teacher and a student of human moves. Rocky Balboa, another good one. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. I always think about that fight in Rocky 1 where he's knocked down and even Mickey, his trainer, is telling him to stay on the mat. And he doesn't. He always gets up. He's always there until the bell sounds. Who do you admire and why? And what does that tell you about yourself? How you could maybe be showing up differently for yourself and for other people. Think about it.